Benny, I haven't seen you for a while. Oh.
Okay, Vinny, we got a mic.
Arne, well done tonight. How do you sum up what you got Start again, eh? How do you sum up what you got from your players tonight, especially given the circumstances surrounding the game?
All I could ask for, I think. The fourth game in 10 days. That's not what you see a lot in football. 3 in 7 is already a lot, let alone 4 in 10. With only 13 outfield players available with Premier League or Champions League experience. After the blow we had, conceding the 3-3 in extra time against Leeds, where we deserved so much more than to go into this stadium against such a strong Inter Milan team. You couldn't have asked for more if you look at our performance. Again, we hardly gave away a chance. The biggest one they had was, I think, just before half-time, after we had to, again, the players, and me included and our fans, had to accept a referee decision that could have gone another way as well. But that's the story, that has been the story of our season, as some other things. So great mentality. Second half, we got better and better and better. We were close to scoring already with Conor Bradley and Hugo Ekitike. And in the end, we got a penalty, which is a penalty. We could have had 10 this season, I think. So that was a penalty that I don't think in the Premier League would have been given. But again, I think it was the first goal was more clear a goal than it was wrong that the penalty was given.
You feel in some ways those decisions even themselves out?
It shouldn't be like that, of course. But I prefer to score in the 86 minutes the 1-0 than in the 38 minutes the 1-0. But it shouldn't be like that. I think so many times this season referee decisions have gone against us, either in the Premier League, either in the Champions League. I think this weekend I saw a handball at Brighton against West Ham in the lead up to a goal, and that was allowed. So probably people will tell me, no, there was something different between it, but there's always something that's different, like the goal we scored against City. So yeah, another time where the players showed great mentality, and this time we could win it instead of ending it with a draw.
Finally, for me, you're up to 8th in the standings now. How big a moment could this be in your season, do you think?
Yeah, that's difficult to see because we cannot foresee the future. But I think it was mainly for us very important that we got a result today, because with an away game to Marseille, also still to play in one home game, we needed points, and and we know how difficult that would be over here because they've been so strong in this stadium, in the league, but definitely also in the Champions League. So it's a great result, like it was against Real Madrid, I think. And it's not funny, but it's the weird thing that we've had a few special results this season. So beating Arsenal, beating Real Madrid, beating Newcastle away, beating Aston Villa, where they won 10 in a row and only lost against us. So that's why it's so surprising to see that we drop points in so many other games. Although there are multiple reasons, but one of them I just said.
The front head.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations, Halit Adrian from Armenian Press. And actually, you spoke already about a question that I'm going to ask. Like, the team reacts in the big matches, as you mentioned, with Madrid, with Inter. Are you sure that when going home in Premier League, in the next match, you will see the same performance, you are going to win? So what's the reason? Can you understand this? Thank you.
I think most of our performances, except for 2 or 3 maybe, have been the same. Have been the same, but not always. We got what we deserved. So against Leeds, we conceded 1 chance, like we did today. But against Leeds, we conceded 3 goals because the VAR interfered for a penalty, and we conceded a set piece. Against Sunderland, we didn't even concede a chance till the 96th minute. But before that, we already conceded a goal by deflection. So I think if you simply look at the last 4 games, the players have fight so hard, showed so much mentality. And I don't think we every time have gotten what we deserved lately. But tonight, at last we did in, again, difficult circumstances.
Arne, hello. Can you just talk to us about the work rate of your midfield and how impressed you were by that midfield you put out tonight? And also, what does it mean to you after such a testing week to hear the fans sing your name at the full-time whistle?
No, I don't think I would do justice to only tell you that our midfield worked so hard. I think I saw all the players showing a lot of commitment to the game plan. In the first half, we tried to keep a +1 in and around our last line. But after the substitutions they made, we struggled more and more with Akanji in the middle, who dribbled into the midfield. So we said during halftime, we have to be more aggressive in our press. We're going to go more 1v1. And then, of course, it's important that your midfield sprints back if they overplay you. But it was the same for our attackers. And I think you are highlighting our midfield, and I would like to highlight one player because he's been highlighted a few times also in a negative way, and this time I would like to highlight Konaté, who played a very good game against two very good strikers together with Virgil. They were I don't think they made a mistake at all, or like I said, we only conceded one chance. And that's a big compliment if you play against such a good team. And what it means to me, that the fans sing for me, that means a lot for me. But I said yesterday, it's not about me, it's about the team. And they were also there for the team. Again, so many away fans in difficult circumstances for the club. And it shows you one more time, if things go against us, or if there's a hard time, we're all there for each other and we fight together. And that's what the fans and the players showed today.
Arne, if it's possible to just clarify, you spoke to the great Clarence Seedorf on the pitch. You said about the talks with Mohamed Salah and the initiative, where the initiative comes from. Were you saying that he has to make the first move to get back into this?
No. I'm happy that you asked that question, because Clarence said that in his opinion, I said, yeah, that's your opinion. So I didn't say anything about that, who should make the first step or whatever. It was his opinion. So I'm happy that I can clarify that the headlines tomorrow are not what I've said. It was his opinion.
But and where do you stand on that between now?
Where I stand is that tonight it should be all about the players that are here. In the rich history Liverpool has, they've had many of these evenings, but after in the season we are in, I think if you have an away win in this stadium against such a strong team, then it should be about the midfield or about Ibu or about the ones that are here. They deserve all the credits. And I can fully understand on Friday that I get a lot of questions from Vinny again about other things, but tonight it should be about the ones that are here.
Just going back to Ibu, obviously he was great tonight, and he's had a tough season, a lot of criticism externally. Have you had to sort of put your arm around him at times or have a word with him? Has he sort of been okay with all of that going on outside? How has he dealt with all of that?
I think the hardest thing for him, but also for me, is to see that during large parts of the game he's played very well. Also in games where he was involved in goals we've conceded. So let's take the PSV game. I think till that moment he played a very good game. And that has been so many times. So it's not a surprise to me that he again played well, but I'm so happy for him that we kept a clean sheet and he wasn't involved in anything that happened tonight. He has also been very unlucky that if you make a mistake or if you are involved in a mistake, that this ball constantly has gone in. And that is the situation where we've been in for weeks, months maybe. Said something about referee decisions. Every chance the other team gets is a goal. Every mistake we make leads immediately to a goal. Again tonight we weren't able to finish our first chances, but because we kept the clean sheet, when we scored our last chance of the game, we could win it today.
Virgil?
Hi, Arne. We're not used to seeing Dominic Szoboszlai take many penalties for you at all.
No.
Obviously, it's a really high pressure one for him to get, but also does it just feel that whatever you ask of him this season, he'll step up and do it?
Yeah, that last thing for sure, because I've asked a lot of him, a lot of different positions. Although no matter what position he plays, I always try to bring him in certain positions. I think what is also special with him is how much he runs in the game. So he's one of the few players that played all 4 games in the last 10 days. I have Ibu and maybe Ibu also all the time 90 together with Virgil, but they play in a different position. So centre backs don't run as much as midfielders have to do. So it's special what he's doing physically. But also football-wise, because again he played a good game and he stood up in a difficult moment because it's not easy. It's 86 minutes. Your first penalty for Liverpool, I think. Yeah, maybe in Charity Shields or in other moments, but in during a game on 0-0. So that's a special moment. But he has a great shot, and he delivered because he takes a lot of penalties for his national team and for his former clubs as well.
Front.
Buonasera. Buonasera, Mr. Slot. Sono Paolo Vinci di Netflix Telesiti. Volevo chiederle questo. Questa squadra, questo Liverpool quest'anno, nonostante una serie di giocatori eccezionali e eccellenti, non è riuscito a fare un campionato costante in Premier League né in Champions, soprattutto un percorso a livello solito come ha fatto nella prima parte dell'anno, nella stagione scorsa. Lei si è fatta una ragione se è un problema psicologico, se è un problema tecnico, se è un problema di spogliatoio. Lei ha fatto un'analisi molto onesta, molto condivisibile sulla partita e sul campionato. Quindi le chiedo, qual è il suo pensiero? È psicologico il problema del Liverpool?
I think we've done well in the Champions League, apart from our result against PSV at home, of course. In the Premier League, I think we're not the only team who are finding it hard to win games. We've been a few times so close to better results than we had, and if we would have gotten the ones we've deserved, but we didn't get for the reasons I've already explained a few of. Then with a few points more, we would have been in a much better position than we are now. And the margins are so small. I think if we would have won against Leeds, that would have been completely normal. I can come up with a few other moments where we deserved much more than we got. So yeah. As a result of that, it's been a season with ups and downs, but indeed in the Champions League we've done mainly well, and I don't think it's a psychological issue because we have showed so much mentality throughout this season with all the setbacks we've faced. One of them this Saturday, and much bigger ones before the season and during the season. So I think I can only compliment my players about how much mentality and fighting spirits they've shown throughout this whole season. That we've been multiple times very unlucky. And that's also clear, and that has led to the position we are in the league.
Last question.
Sì. Buonasera mister. Lei spesso ha detto che nelle squadre che Buonasera mister, nelle squadre che ha allenato ha detto spesso che oltre alla tattica quello che conta come ingrediente è anche l'energia. La sua squadra stasera ha mostrato un'energia importante sin dall'inizio della partita. Lei dal campo che tipo di energia ha visto? Grazie.
It's really true that tactics are one thing, but if you have quality players that play against each other, and both tactics are right, then it's also a lot about energy and about fighting spirit, and that's what I saw today, by the way, from both sides. That's why it was such a tight game, not many chances for both teams, but that's what I knew before we came here. Very experienced team, disciplined, working hard, can pressure really high, can go to a low block, and if they're in a low block, they can counter-attack so good. So they have a lot of weapons, and I think we've tried as much as we can to control the game when we had possession, to be calm and keep it as long as we could. And what made the difference in the end was, I think, a great defensive performance from our team, like it was from Inter Milan, and then the margins are small. And then a disallowed goal in the first half or a penalty can make the difference. And unfortunately for us, we've been so many times on the wrong side of things. But tonight, I think we deserve to be on the right side, but the margins were small.
Thank you very much, guys.